Nigeria, or I'm in Saudi Nigeria, or I'm in Gambia, or I'm in Senegal. I just feel like no difference. The setup, the houses in the villages, the way they in the evening, the way the people come out. I feel like I'm not in Ethiopia. I'm in maybe West Africa or somewhere. But when we get to the border between Kenya and Ethiopia, we were traveling with two Japanese. My brother, let me tell you, we were traveling with two Japanese. And then when we got there, we were denied to go to Kenya by the immigration officers. By the Japanese were allowed to go. Can we blame the Europeans for this? And when I asked them, the immigration officers, when I asked them as to why that we as Africans been denied the opportunity to go to another African countries, the lady said to me, "You guys, you West Africans, you are criminals." I said, "But we are Africans. And if you say we are criminals, the criminality that you are claiming that we are, I am sure that Europeans are doing more criminal things in Kenya than West Africans can ever do. But you will not find them in your prisons. So what is your point here?" She said to me, "We just will not allow you to go. If you want, go back to Addis Ababa, take a flight and go to Kenya. But for you guys to pass through this border, show me your documents. We show her everything." And let me tell you something, my brother. When I was taking out my stuff from my wallet, she saw my UK ID, a UK ID. And she asked me, "Are you coming from UK?" I said, "Yes, I'm coming from UK. I live in UK, but I'm an African." And she asked me, "Do you want us to deal with you like a European, like a UK citizen or a Ghanaian citizen?" I said to her, "Deal with me like an African." And that is where my predicaments become worse, because she started talking to me like an animal, like nobody. But maybe if I had told her to deal with me like a British, maybe she would have some respect for me.
No, my brother,
And this, a British man was not there. This was, if it was to be in Britain, they would respect me, even though I was born in Africa. So why do we have that kind of treatment towards each other when we have respect for other people? Because as I told you, they allow
make
these
a
two
black
Japanese
man.
guys.
My brother, this have this in your mind. A black man will always see his fellow black as a criminal and see white as an innocent person. This is how our
Why?
mentality was created. To change this mentality, we can't do nothing but to deal with the system and start to train the youngest ones to prepare their mentality, my brother. A black man is always being prepared to see his fellow black man as criminal, as thief, as a bad person. But a black man, when he see a white man, he believes that he see an angel or he see a god. Yes, in Africa. This is what I was saying on my live someday. I talk about the military service or police or soldier, any kind of military unit or any kind of service in a country in Africa.
Security.
These people are too full to themselves. This is what I say. As a military, you see, when I watch some videos of African militaries or police beating their African peoples, but they will never beat a white man like that. Even no matter what a white man do.
They're not.
When you go to an African prisons, you meet only black peoples. You come to European prison, you meet only black peoples. You go to UK prison, you meet only black people. You go to American prison, you meet only black people. Go to Chinese prison, you meet only black peoples. And when you go back to those black people where they came from, you meet only black people in their own prisons. We prison ourselves, our enemies are prisoning us. Our enemies are finishing us, we are finishing ourselves. So we are helping our enemies to deal with ourselves. Because when our enemies are dealing with us and we are dealing with ourselves, means we are helping our enemies to conquer ourselves. This is what we fail to understand. Why don't we have white peoples? There should be millions of white peoples in African prisons, because they commit a lot of crime in Africa, but they come and commit and go. And our government, our servicemen know that this white man who came to this country have committed a crime. But because it's a white man will never be committed, will never be punished for a crime.
They even have more
It's
freedom.
only a black man who is being created to take a punishment for the crime that he or she committed. But white man is only created to be so genuine. Even if a white man commit a crime, means he do a best thing. for a black man. When a black man see white man committing a crime in Africa, we feel like, oh, this white man is so great. But when a fellow black
Why?
do the same thing, it's a crime. A white man, how many white people have been smuggling drugs and other things in Africa? We can't count it. It's uncountable. Why they have never been arrested? But how many black people are living in European prison because they sell drugs?
It's very pathetic, our situation.
My brother, if you go to Germany today, you see Germany, the same Germany that is crying that they want to work with Nigeria because of Nigerian gas, because they need the gas in Nigeria. The same German. When you go to German prison today, you meet thousands of black peoples in prison. When you came to Italy, you meet thousands of black peoples in prison. Why?
UK, the same thing. America is worse.
America, black people living in America, I've been saying this to them, that they think like the war is over. It's not over. American white peoples are trying to, the foreigners in America, that's how I call them. I don't call them American white peoples, but I call them the foreigners, because they are the foreigners in America, and they feel like black people. They make black people feel like black people are the strangers in America, but black people are the first people in America. If anybody should get out from that America, is the white peoples, because they came from other places. They are just strangers in that country. But they make black people to feel like they are the strangers, and they are dealing with the black peoples, and black peoples are feeling like, no, America is very bad. Americans are very bad. Fight for your right. What American white man? How can American white peoples have a full 100% right over a black man in America when that America was created by a black man, when that America was built by a black man?
My brother, there is a saying that God created man, and man created his reality. So as a man, if you sit down and allow another man, he will create your reality for you. And that reality may be hell on the earth. He will create hell for you on this earth and create heaven for himself on this earth. And that is exactly what we as African people are facing. We have allowed other people to decide our reality, to create our reality for us. And today, the reality that they create for us is
because you know what? These people started this whole thing for a very long distance, my brother. Look at it now. In Africa, what do we believe? Muslim and Christians. This is what we believe, these two religions. Africans depend on these two religions that much, and all these two religions that we are seeing, when you check, let's start with Muslims. When you go to Saudi Arabia, they say they are Muslims, but they are rich. You come to Morocco, they are rich. You go to Tunisia, they are rich. You go to Libya, they are rich. Why African black people, Muslims are not rich, always poor? There is something under that religion that black Muslims are not understanding. When you go to the Christianity, you check, you go to all these European countries, they are all Christians, and they call themselves Christians and Catholic, but they are all rich. But why African Christians are not rich, are always going poorer and poorer and poorer? Why? There is something under that religion that they are not understanding. Religion is brought to Africa to cage us. I don't say religions are not good. Maybe Christian religion, I always said it is good. The Bible, if you get the original Bible, whatever you find in that original Bible, you will find it in Quran. They are the same. Nothing is different. When you find Quran, the real Quran, you found the real Bible. The real Bible that will never be shown to African Christians, that they will never be given, that will never be given to African Christians. Because when you, as an African Christian, you read that Bible, my brother, you will know that there is something under this religion that they have brought to you. We all worship one God. There is only one God that we all look up to. But look at these peoples, they changed the Bible automatically, because it's in their power to change Bible to anyhow they want. They manipulate Africans, put things in the Bible that will make Africans to go more power and respect them more and believe in them more and love them more and hate themselves more. That is the Bible. When you come to the Muslim religion, you see our black brothers who are Muslims going to Saudi Arabia to learn Quran, going to Mauritania to learn Quran, going to Morocco to learn Quran. My brother, they don't learn Quran. Saudi Arabia don't teach you Quran. Saudi Arabia teach them how they will become more poor Saudi Arabia don't teach you what you want to know. And our
To be
people in
inferior.
Saudi Arabia believe that,
They
look at
teach them
these people,
inferiority
my brother.
complex.
You know, it's only a black man. Today, if I, as I'm a Muslim, you know, my brother, if I do something like somebody came to fight, like you know, like I murder a white man in my territory because he came to destroy my territory, you will see Muslims who will say, oh, you will go to hellfire. But how many, that white man, how many black people he have killed? He will not go to hellfire, right? Because he's a white man. We believe that, hey, yeah, white man, no matter what crime they commit, they will not go to hellfire. But we black people refuse to do things. You know, people who gave you
Because
religions, look at Arabs. Arabs who call themselves Muslims. As a Muslim, you should never kill your fellow human being. That is being written in the Quran. But Arabs are Muslim. But what are they doing to black people? What are they doing to black people today?
wow.
But black people still believe that,
Wow.
yeah, we can't do this, you know, but we are doing it to ourselves. You can kill your fellow black brother. You will not think like you will go to hellfire. But to kill an Arab or kill a white man, you think like you will go to hellfire. There you think about God. Because that's why they give you that religion. Those
So they are
religions.
God. They are, so they are
You know,
God on this planet Earth for us. Then they represent God.
my brother, black man make himself poor. Nobody make black man poor. Black man is not poor, but black man make himself poor. If white
Kwame
if
Nkrumah
white
always say
people
that.
can be rich and develop, then Africa can be more richer, million times than Europe, America, and UK. If Europe and America and UK can be developed, I tell you, Africa can be more
Because we are more
developed
religious than
and
they are.
richer than Europe, America, and UK. Just that black people don't want to be rich, they don't want to be developed. This is what I always say. They don't want to be rich,
And
they don't want to be developed.
is it part of? But is it part of the programming? Like, did colonization make the African think that poverty is his inheritance?
That's what I am telling you. Black man don't care about poverty
Because we
because
seem to
black
think
man,
that maybe poverty is our inheritance.
yeah, poverty is not something that we inherit, but it's a system that is there. No matter what we do, we can never be rich.
Yeah, that's what I'm
No,
saying. It seems like
no,
colonization has made us to think that this world is nothing, and then maybe we should wait till the year after
not only
when
about
the
the
European,
colonization. Think
Arabian,
about
they
the
are creating
religion.
everything on earth.
When you go to Muslim religion today, Arabs are rich. They are Muslims. We believe that Arabs are the best Muslims, but they are rich, right?
Very
But black
rich,
Muslims,
very
look at
very
black
rich,
Muslims. Black Muslims, do you know what
very
they
rich.
told us? You know, our imams will tell us, don't think about this dunya, don't think about this world. There's nothing in this world. Forget about everything. Forget about rich. I also forget about how to be rich. I also forget about everything. Let me think about if I die, where I will go. You see how our mentality is, our imams are telling us. Forget about big cars, forget about big house. Now everybody is forgetting about it. But the peoples where you run that Quran from, Saudi Arabia, Mauritania, Morocco, Libya, they are rich. That's where you learn. You learn Quran from them and they are rich. And you come to your people, you are telling your people, forget about big house, forget about big car. But you, Imam, you are finding a big car, you are finding a big house, and you are telling your people. The same thing to Christianity. Come and pay tithe, come and pay tithe. How many pastors do you have seen them paying tithe? Sorry, my brother. How many pastors have you seen paying tithe? So pastors should not pay tithe. If tithe should be paid, if it is in the Bible that tithe should be paid by force, so pastors should not pay tithe. How many pastors have paid tithe? Why people should be giving you that money? What are you going to do with that money? To build your life, of course, to be rich. That's why all pastors in Africa are rich. And their members are always poor. They will always remain poor if they don't remove from that church. Let them forget about that church. Everybody can communicate God. Everybody. Don't go to people to beg God for you. Beg God for yourself. Everybody can be closer to God. God call everybody. There's nobody that God don't call. My brother, it's just that we distance ourselves from God. We believe that, oh, this man is the one who is closer to God. Let me go to him. God will be angry with you. God says, when you need something from me, kneel down and beg me. I will answer to your prayers. Don't send people to me. Because when you send people to me, meaning that your prayers will not be answered. Even if it will be answered, it will not be answered instantly. But when you kneel down by yourself and beg me directly, then I will give you a blessing directly. But when you go to somebody indirectly to beg me, then I will give you indirectly whatever you ask for. It will not come as you wish. This is where we are getting the problem from. We are always believing in imams, pastors, and other things. That's why I don't believe in this all this nonsense, my brother. What I believe in, when I need something from God, I lay down and beg God and promise God, and I beg God. I beg God, I beg God till I cry. This is what I did. There's nobody that is distance to God. Everybody is closer to God. But look at in Africa, in churches today, everybody believe, Papa, Papa, Pastor, Pastor, Daddy, Daddy. And we believe that those are the peoples who are going to show you how to be rich. They will tell you, we want to prophesy. We prophesy this and that. And you give them tithe every Sunday. You go and give them. You are poor. You don't have even food to eat. The only food,
Sunday and
maybe
Friday.
some little money that you have, you remove it and go and pay tithe. They say pay tithe so that more money will come to you. You will go more poor and poor and poor. How many people are paying tithe in church every Sunday and they are getting poor? How many people are giving money to the imams, Muslims, and they are still poor? Bro, it's painful.
It's a complicated thing. You know, as I was saying earlier before we start our program, I think if you read the King Leopold letter to the missionaries when he was sending them to Africa, I think you can understand all this. It was all part of the programming, because on that very letter, I wish every young African would read that King Leopold letter, where King Leopold is telling the missionaries that, brethren, I'm sending you to on this mission to the Africans, not because the Africans doesn't know God. For God, they do know. Not because they don't know morality. We cannot teach them morality. Morality, they do know. But your mission, the reason why you are going on this mission, is to let the Africans hate themselves. Is to let the Africans know that their God is worthless, and everything that they have is ungodly, and everything that we have is from God. So, in a nutshell, it was a man who sat down and programmed all this. But anyway, my brother, today our focus is on our unity as African people. My brother, we cannot talk about unity of the African and not try to deal with one particular animal that has been hunting us long before, even before the Europeans came to Africa. Sometimes we find it difficult to talk about these things because sometimes we think that this is a bit something that is sensitive. But the reality is that it has been impeding the progress of Africa for that too long. If it wasn't for that, slavery could never have happened to we Africans. If it wasn't for that, colonization could never have happened to we Africans. And today, neo-colonialism is happening to us right on our faces. We are watching it, and I'm sure this thing is playing a role on this. So, my brother, I want you to know, I want to ask you, as young Africans, tribalism is part of us, because today, as we speak, if you listen to what young Ghanaians are saying to each other, because of different tribal differences, do you think we as Africans, especially this generation of Africans, we should put aside our so-called tribal differences and realize that all of us as African people, we are all speaking one language, and this is a language of suffering, language of exploitation, and language of degradation. Because if me and you are in Europe or in America or in Asia, in Saudi Arabia, in Afghanistan, the people over there, they don't see us as different tribes, and they don't treat us as different tribes. The only thing they treat us is Africans, and they want to exploit us. Exactly. But when we come home, we try to wear our tribal differences and try to disrespect each other based on our tribal differences. And I know for sure, as somebody who has studied a little bit of history, that if it wasn't for tribalism, the British could never have colonized Gambia. If it wasn't for our tribal differences, the French will never have did what they did to us in Africa.
Of course,
If
of
we,
course.
if we
You know,
as children of Africa has realized that we are
one
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 people,
thing
slavery
one
could
thing
never
of
have happened to us. But today we are
Africa
blaming the Europeans for what.
Africans will prefer for a white man to colonize them than for you as their fellow black to rule them. Yes, that's what Africans prefer. Africans prefer a white man to colonize them, enslave them, than for their fellow black to rule them because of self-hatred. Yes, to see my fellow black ruling me. I will say, no, I don't want Dubia to be ruling. I don't want him to. It's better. So I will destroy you. Even if by me destroying you, white people will take control over the country, I will make sure I destroy you. I don't care. Let white people take over. So this really destroy Africans. And the tribe you are talking about is something that have been bothering me, and it have been destroying so many African countries. It's not only one, it's not only two, but all the black African countries have been destroyed by this same tribe that you are talking about. We are seeing so many countries in war today, or so many countries are not stable today. It's all about war. It's all about this tribal
Oh
thing.
yeah, all of us, all of
Tribalism
us.
brings on development, all our own development and other things, country, stable is all about tribe. When you go to Nigeria, whatever is happening there is all about tribe. You go to
Yeah,
Gambia, what is happening there is all about tribe. Go to Senegal, tribe. Go to Ghana, tribe. Go to Cameroon, tribe.
tribes,
Everywhere is tribe. Because
tribalism.
we believe, when a man don't know what is his problem, he will never know the solution to his life. That's what Africans, that's how I see many
True.
Africans, that we don't know what is our problem.
Mm.
Come on. Because we refuse to look at our enemies, peoples who we believe they are the best. Why can't we learn from them? We learn everything from Europeans. We want to be like Europeans, we want to dress like them, but we don't want to behave like them. We don't want to act like them. Why? This is what I always tell Africans. You want to dress like Europeans. You wanna behave like Europeans. You wanna sing like Europeans. You wanna talk like Europeans. Why can't you see that Europeans also have tribes? But do you ever see any tribe? When you go to Italy, they tell you we are Italians. Then Italy have more than 100, even 500 tribes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Very true. And this is what
It never
Africans
heard
are not
about any
realizing.
tribe.
In UK,
Okay.
yeah, in UK they have different tribes. The Welsh, the Irish. These are all different tribes
Very good.
come together, unite until.
My brother, I think your network is jamming a little bit. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you.
I don't know what's going on. The network is kind of like trying to mess up with us
Yeah, yeah.
because we have reached the very important topic now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I was saying, I was just adding up to what you said when it comes to those so-called tribal differences. Everybody got tribal differences. The Europeans have their own tribal differences. The Chinese, they got their own tribal differences. The Indians, a lot of different tribes. But when it comes to dealing with the Africans, they want to get.
Yeah, my brother, today your network is very bad. It's very jamming.
The network is so bad. I don't know what's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really jammed. I don't know what's the problem. But anyway, we were trying to deal with the tribalism affecting us in Africa, and this is a serious problem
I
because,
think this is what
as
Africans
I
need to
said,
do.
the Europeans they have their own tribal differences. The Indians they have
When Africans really
Everybody got their own tribal
since,
differences,
since
but when it comes to
Africans
dealing with
really
Africa,
believe in white peoples and we
mm,
believe in the colonizers, since Africans, this is what I always tell them. Since you believe in them, you want to dress like them, you want to be like them, then act like them. The way they love themselves, love yourself like that. But you don't want to love yourself the way they love themselves. You want to dress like them, you want to be like them, you want to go to their continent, you want to Europe, you don't want
you want to
you
act
don't want
like
to
them.
copy their systems. You don't. I think somebody is trying to call me.
No. Mm.
Okay. So it's a problem. The tribe
Yes,
is a problem. The
it's a very
tribe
big.
have been put in us. Come on, tribe is something we just don't want to think. I don't know what is the problem of Africa. We don't want to think. We don't want to think, my brother. Sometimes when I sit and watch Europe, how many tribes they have, but they are still united. But those are same people telling you not to unite, dividing you. You are telling me not to unite in my compound, but in your compound, you are together with your family, enjoying, laughing, smiling, enjoying the unity of your compound, of your family. But you are telling me to separate my family. You are telling me never to unite my family,
Can
but
we
you
blame
are
them
want
for
to
that?
unite in your family.
Can we blame them for that?
We cannot blame them, we blame ourselves. Because I
Mm.
cannot, I cannot tell you, Dobia, separate your family, and I am here united with my family. When you separated with your family because I told you to do, you will be the one to blame yourself because you have never think that
That's what I'm
why this
saying.
man is telling me to separate with my family, but how is he living with his family? United happily. So why would I
Yes,
separate with my family
yes,
when this man is with his family?
yes. That's what I'm
So this
saying
is
because
what
most
we
of the
refuse
time,
to understand, to watch them, to watch what they did. We need to know them. We need to study them. But Africans feel like studying a white man is a useless thing.
it's
Studying Europeans, Americans, UK to know what they did,
it's a
what they
sin.
are doing is a useless thing. We feel like we should not, it's a waste of time. But this is not a waste of time. We need to know them. We need to know what these
Yeah,
people plan.
but
We
it's
need to
only
know
the
how these
it's
people operate. We need to know how they do things. They are our enemies. So we need to behave like them.
yeah, because my brother, what I don't understand is everything that the Europeans give to us that will take us, or not only the Europeans, even everybody, the Indians, the Arabs, everybody, everything that they will give to the Chinese, everything that they will give to us that will impede our progress, we are more than ready to hold onto that. Anything that they give to us that will keep us back, we are more than ready to learn from that and to hold on to that. But anything that they are doing that is making them progress, we are not ready for that. Because if you watch, West Africa, ECOWAS started talking about having one currency when Europe did not even think of having one currency. ECOWAS started thinking about having one currency when Europe did not even think of having one currency. And when the Europeans realized, well, when they heard that ECOWAS or West Africa wanted to have one currency, they quickly speed up with a system of having one currency. And today they have one currency and they are enjoying it. And when West Africa tried to come out just recently, 3-4 years ago, with something called ECO, the president of France went to West Africa, tell French-speaking countries not to accept that because already France is milking them based on the currency that France is printing for them. My brother, as somebody, as a human being who have brain, how come France is not using the French CFA? How come they are not using a currency and yet they are printing that currency for you?
It's
And
only
when
you and me who will think about that. The French speaking countries, their leaders are not thinking about that.
can you really blame France for that?
You know,
But
you
they
can't
are
blame
human beings.
them
Can
for
you
that,
blame
my
France for
brother.
that?
You know
And
why?
what I was
you know, you know why? You know why, my brother? There is a problem. Yes. Our leaders in Africa know which step to take, what to do, what is the right thing to do, but they can't, my brother. They have been borrowing so many money and they have so many loan to pay. So
Yeah.
they can shout at them. They can tell them no. But if not, how can France tell Mali, Burkina, Niger, Guinea that they are owing France for colonial debt? This is what I tell people. When France
How does that make
says
sense?
they, when France says all these countries are owing them for colonial debt, then let's France calculate how much amount is that debt, and let Africa calculate how much gold and diamond that France have stolen from Africa, and we calculate who is owing who. We will know if France is owing Africa or Africa is owing France. We will know. So there's a
But my
big
brother,
problem.
normally,
There's
what
a
I said is, what I'm saying is that, okay, the French, they elected their leadership for the leaders best to France. And then we, Gambia, we in Sierra Leone, leaders. If West Africa decide that we want to have one currency, and the president of France realized that the people who elected me, if they don't Africans to have one currency, it will affect the French people. So he,
My bro, your network is going too bad, you know.